Okay, and welcome to another Clojure Diary video. So I'm just developing this library called rs1, which means like range Swiss Army knife. So like, what does it mean is like you have this range in Clojure, which operates with numbers, and I think that's it. So like, but I just want to operate with something like numbers, dates, strings, and all those things. So if you just take numbers, you can just give a start value, end value, and you'll just get these numbers like this one. With strings you can give something like this one, right? Okay, so how it just works is, okay, like, look, this is the base of it. Okay, you just give start, end value, and the end is 10 over here. You just give a function how it should be incremented, and you just give a function saying that when it needs to stop. So this says, okay, continue when a is less than b. So this is a and this is b, right? So it keeps on going till, okay, like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and of course, when it's 10, it's no longer lesser than, so it just returns this list. So that's how it is, right? So yeah, that's how it just works. Okay, so one good thing is, like, since you're defining the start and stop as functions, so I just gave over here a local date, that is now, and 7 days from now. Okay, so and I just tell how to increment it, and I just say, like, okay, like, the start date should be before the end date. Okay, so it just gives me 7 days. So a very good Swiss Army knife function, and that's the thing. And yeah, like, yeah. So now, okay, like, what I just want to do is, like, okay, and now there are more improvements in this. Okay, so like, I just have this project over here. Now I've just put this 060. So, and let me just stop this ripple. Okay, right, and let me just jack it. Okay, so uh jack in, right, engine, right. Okay, this is a project where I just try this rs1 and all those things, and make sure it works properly. Right. I haven't written the test for rs1 yet, so that's the thing, right? And yeah, so 060. Hopefully, I jacked in with 060, right? So, yeah, so everything is working fine. Okay, now I can just put like 1 to 5 like this, or in 060, I can just put just 5. Okay, so yeah, so this also works. Okay, so yeah, this is becoming more and more user friendly and all those stuff. Okay, so but in this rs1, like, I just have written code which I started not to like. Okay, so look, the first thing of coding is like, yeah, I'm not about, okay, fine. The first thing about coding is like, yeah, you need to get it running, okay, but then, yeah, you can just start refining. Okay, so, but I haven't written the tests yet. So look, I've just got all these functions like string range, descending, string range, ascending, and all those stuff. Okay, but I just want just this rs1, like, that's the thing. So I just thought, okay, like, why can't multi methods do play some role over here? So anyway, now let's start this video. Okay, so this video is titled Complex Multi-Method Processing. Okay, so in rs1, it can accept whatever it wants. It can accept from one argument to, what to say, four arguments. Okay, so, and the types can be whatever. Okay, so it can be number, string, date, and the increment and, what to say, the stop function should could also be there as arguments, and all those things, and all those things are there. So to lay basis for it, look, in order to do something, okay, in order to do something in Clojure or whatever project I'm just doing, I just keep like tiny projects and see whether that thing is working. Okay, so you have this process args thing. Okay, so and what to say, like, it is a multimeter, right? And over here, the arguments, you can give how many ever number of arguments you want, and it goes to this thing called dispatcher. Okay, so that's the thing. And this dispatcher, what to say, just map this archetype. Okay, so now this archetype, like what I can just do is archetype. Okay, so and then I just give ABC. I hope it is has been jacked in, right? Um, ABC, right? And it gives me string. And if I just give something like 42, it gives me number. And I can also give like, okay, something like ink or something like that, and it gives function. And maybe if I just give something like a map, okay, so like A1 and okay, and it gives other, right? So that's the thing. So with this, what I can just do is like, okay, like, okay, like, this dispatcher with this dispatcher, right? So what I can just do is like, okay, like, dispatcher, right? I can just give like A, B, C, and then okay, I need to give it as a list over here or a vector. Okay, so yeah, A, B, C, and then and what, yeah, D, E, F, and let me just give some function inc. Of course, it makes no sense, okay, but yeah, so it just gives string function, or I can just give like, okay, like something like pi, and then 10, and then increment. Okay, so number function. So this one gives this one. Okay, so this one returns number function, right? Okay, so now this, since this is multi methods, now I can just check whatever. This is multi method, and with each def method I can just check, okay, where is number function. Okay, uh okay, so okay, like it should be okay, like I can just give like, let me give number function. Okay, so ink, and then what to say, like um function, okay, function, okay, x less than or equal to 10, right? So that's it. And number function. So this one finds this one, and of course, like whatever code over here gets executed, right? So yeah, I think let me just load everything, and I don't know whether I've just loaded everything or not, right? So that's the thing. And yeah, I can just give like process args, args, right? And then phi, and then what to say, like to say like ink, and I'm just okay, less than or equal to, okay, like let me just copy this and just paste it over here. So yeah, copy this. I'm just really lazy, right? So like yeah, hopefully this will work. Yeah, number function. So now I can just think about like, okay, like handling this. Okay, so that's the thing. And if something doesn't really fit in, okay, it just comes over here default, and then I can just throw an exception or something like that, and that's the thing, right? And yeah, like one thing is like, yeah, look, I need to do a lot of definitions over here, but then I can okay, but then it's one thing what I just want to praise about Clojure is maybe I'm just too much biased. Okay, so it makes my code very clear. Okay, so like now I just know what are all the kind of inputs I'm going to get to my function, and how to handle it. Okay, so and this looks much more cleaner than this R-Swan code over here, right? Okay, so and I'm going to implement this, and I'm going to remove all these stuff. Okay, so I think soon it'll be bumped up to R-Swan 100, right? So that's the thing. So yeah, anyway, like and what I just want to say is like, look, necessity is the greatest teacher, right? So I never really understood multi-methods, and even I just wrote a closure book. And even when I was writing the closure book, I didn't really understand multi-methods very well. And even until last week, I didn't understand. But when necessity came, yeah, like I just knew the concept of multi-methods and somehow I figured it out. Okay. So yeah, so I just think necessity is the greatest teacher and possibly or life is the greatest teacher. So that's the thing. Maybe my closure book also needs to get some updates about multi-methods. So multi-methods. Okay. So over here you'll just see only a very simple example and all those things and maybe like I just need to what to say update this section and all those things. Okay, so that's the thing. But yeah, of course, this closure diary is always a draft, and I perfect it. And once I just perfect it, I just put it in my closure book. Okay, so that's how it goes, right? Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope it this video might have taught some people one or two things which may not be known to them, and yeah. And another thing I just want to add is I just feel like the Clojure community lacks very good documentation. That's what I just feel. When I started with PHP, or I don't know, how many years? Like nearly 18 years back, the documentation was so good. Okay, so I think php.net, that's the website, the documentation was so good. And I don't know, after that, I have never seen any language with such great documentation. I became a Ruby on Rails developer, and no, the documentation wasn't good enough. And in Clojure, even though the language is far better, the documentation is really, really worse compared to PHP and all those things. And what they achieved like kind of 18 years ago, right? So I think, yeah, that needs to be stepped up and so that a person who's just searching for something just exactly gets that. Okay, so, and that's the thing. And possibly all these LLMs also picks it up and gives a very good, nice solution. So, yeah. And yeah, anyway, that's my opinion. And since this is a vlog, I can tell my opinion, right? Okay, so anyway, thanks for watching. Until we meet next time, bye.